Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and there's one Southern tradition that I just couldn't do without, and that's a real deal Southern barbecue. So first, I'll show you my Boston butt. Guaranteed your gang's gonna be lined up for seconds. Next, there's scrumptious chicken Brunswick stew. And then I'm gonna see to a heaping bowl of the ladies' favorite slaw. Chunky, just the way I like it. And to wash it all down, the squeeze is on with my sweet and tangy lemonade. So grab your favorite sauce and heat up your pots, cause the ladies got a hankering for a real Southern barbecue. I've found that when people visit us in Savannah, they're looking for three things from our kitchen. They're looking for plantation-style Southern food, seafood, and barbecue. And today we're gonna go to the king and find out how he cooks it. Frank McTeer has got his butts on the grill. Hey, Frank.
Well, hey, Paula, how you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm doing good. Got dry rub all over my hand.
Oh, that's all right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I wanted to bring everybody to your house today to show them how a master does it.
We're just getting started. Putting a dry rub, and you just sprinkle it on your meat and rub it in. And
I tell people all the time not be bashful to rub their meat.
That's right.
Because it really helps to rub those seasonings into it. What do you think's the easiest meat to cook on a grill?
Well, I would have to say the Boston butts, just because you can put them on, let them cook for 8 hours, go back to them, take them off, you shake it, and the bone will be in your hand, and the meat will be on the table. We've already got some that we've started, and we just put a little bit on here for y'all to come by and see.
Just a little bit. All right, I want to try that bone shaking you're talking about.
I think this one right here looks just,
you think so?
just as good as it's going to get.
Oh my gracious.
If you just do that,
it's coming right out.
Now that one is just about as
gosh.
tender as you're going to get.
So show me, Frank, now, what do you do after they're ready?
We're going to grab that Boston butt, cut the top layer of fat off. But as you can see, it's pretty hot right now. So we're just going to gather the meat up, throw it in.
Just that quick.
That's right. So there's basically your finished product. Nice chipped up barbecue.
It's out of this world delicious. And now all of a sudden it looks like it's gonna rain. So you know what I think I'm gonna do?
Go in the kitchen.
I think that I'm gonna take some butts and go into the kitchen and show everybody how you can cook them inside and get the same flavor.
Well, good. That sounds great, and I'm glad
I had a ball with you today.
And I'm really glad you stopped by.
I think we're gonna have to crown you king of the butts.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thanks, I'll see you later.
Okay, thanks, Paula.
It's raining here today, and you know there's nothing that I would rather do on a rainy day than get in my kitchen and cook. I just adore doing that. I'd rather do that than eat it when I'm hungry. So today we're gonna start with a Boston butt. The very, very first secret to cooking good barbecue in the kitchen is a liquid smoke. This will give it a flavor just like it's been on your barbecue grill. Put about maybe 2 tablespoons. And now we're just gonna season him up good. This is so easy to do. Now I've sprinkled him good with house seasoning, and now I'm gonna use a seasoning salt on him. And remember, I'll always be telling you to rub your meat. Rub those seasonings into your meat. And look at that, you see all that beautiful marbling in there. This is gonna be a good barbecue. Now we're gonna put him in the pan. And I'm gonna put just a few bay leaves in. Those are small, so I'll stick 4 in there. And about a cup of water. Just enough so that he won't stick to the bottom of the pot. And then throw an onion on him. We now got a delicious Southern oven roasted barbecue. Now you can cover him with the lid, or you can cover him with an aluminum foil. It really doesn't matter, but he just needs to be sealed up for that first cooking. Now, I'm not gonna bend y'all's ear with all my boring stories today, waiting on that butt to cook. I've got one ready for you. So let's take him out and see if he's ready. He smells out of this world. Depending on what size butt you got, you're looking at probably, I think this was a 5-pounder, so we're looking at about 2.5 or 3 hours Oh, look. I might have you beat, Buckethead. All right, let's just, oh, he's just sizzling. And you can see all those onions. Those onions have almost caramelized down there in that pork stock. Oh, it's so good. My mother, lots of times on Sunday, would cook a pork roast, and she would make the most wonderful pork roast and gravy you ever tasted. So we're just gonna get this out of our way so I can get up here to this butt. I'm gonna show you a couple of different ways that you can serve this. You can see how tender and moist and juicy. There is nothing any better than hot Boston butt out of the oven. Nothing. People are funny about their barbecue down south. You know, they really know what they like and what they don't like. Some people like sliced barbecue pork. Some like chopped. Personally, I like my barbecue separate from my sauce. Some people like theirs mixed up. I'm gonna do it both ways. Now that's ready for a sandwich. And I like to use white bread normally, but today I think I'm gonna try it with wheat to just see how it tastes. I hope y'all enjoyed Buckethead and his barbecue today. He and my boyfriend Michael grew up together, played football together. They were just big buddies. In fact, I think old Buckethead's just now starting to warm up to me after over a year. I love him to death. And you know what? I don't even have a plate up here, but that's all right. I don't think this one's ever gonna hit the plate. It's just as good with the wheat bread. I don't know if I can improve on this meal any, but stick around because I'm gonna try with chicken Brunswick stew.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
We wouldn't dream of having a barbecue down south without the favorite sidekick that goes with him, and that's Brunswick stew. We're gonna start with canned tomatoes. We're gonna add a can of creamed corn, and that's nice and sweet. We're gonna stir those up. This is gonna be so simple. A lot of people that know about Brunswick stew think, oh my goodness, it's taxing, it's long, but we put it together just in a matter of a few minutes. Now I'm just gonna put maybe 3 teaspoons of your liquid smoke. We're gonna go with a cup of onions, a little vinegar, about a tablespoon, or maybe a little more. Just plain ketchup, your favorite barbecue sauce. It can be a homemade or a bottled. There's actually some pretty good bottled sauces out there now, but it's so easy to make your own, there's no reason why you shouldn't. And I like my Brunswick stew a little on the sweet side, so I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar, and I'm going to put that right there because I may come back and add a little bit more. I'm just going to wait and see. We're going to put a little house seasoning and a little celery seed to give it just a little bite. And then I'm going to top it off with a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Now, one of the things I want to caution you about when you're making Brunswick stew is for some reason, this wants to stick so very badly to your pot. So you never ever want to walk away from this. You want to kind of stay close by it so you can give it a stir every few minutes. And then we're going to come over here where I've actually cooked the chicken, and we're going to get out some of that good rich stock. This is one of those dishes that's so quick and easy for a weekend lunch. And we're just going to let that cook now while I'm picking the chicken. That stock's really going to make it good. And I'm going to cook this uncovered so that some of the liquid. You can see that it's kind of thin, and I want that liquid to kind of just go away a little bit and get tight and thick. And now all we have to do is pick our chicken. And this is one of my favorite things to do. I have picked so many chickens in my lifetime you wouldn't believe it. In the classic Southern barbecue, it would be hours and hours and hours of preparing. Actually, this was usually cooked outside over an open fire. When we used to have Thanksgiving, my uncle would always rig up a pot in the backyard and cook everybody's favorite Brunswick stew. And it would be so good, it would just make your tongue want to slap your brains out. It was just out of this world. But this is a much easier version. But now we're going to go ahead, and you can see our pot of Brunswick stew is starting to cook up real good. We're just going to add our meat now. So all we have to do now is let it cook down and then continue to kind of sample it and get it where you want it. But this is on the way to being a delicious pot of stew. And we're looking at maybe simmering it for about 20 minutes. But don't forget, don't leave that pot for very long because you're going to need to stir. And when we come back, I'm going to be making the ladies' coleslaw and a classic Southern lemonade.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
Look, it's just bubbling away. It's still simmering and cooking. And I just tasted a little bit, and I think it needs a little black pepper, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, baby. It's looking good. While it soaks up that black pepper, we're going to move down here now and make our coleslaw. And I'm a little fussy about my coleslaw, I have to tell you. I always want to make sure that my cabbage has this dark green leaf on it because that adds such pretty color. I can't stand to see coleslaw that's just solid white. It's just ugly. So we've got a nice head of cabbage, and we're going to cut it in two. You see how your colors change? And we want to get every bit of that color in our bowl. So I'm going to set it to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and mix up our dressing now. And we're going to do mayonnaise. This is a very simple dressing. I like my coleslaw a little on the sweet side, so we're going to add some sugar. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of just white vinegar. If you use color, they'll actually change the color of your coleslaw. I'm going to add a little lemon pepper because the lemon just tarts it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of Jane's Crazy mixed up salt, just a little. And I'm going to let this sit over here and let all those flavors marry together. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start by putting some carrots. So I'm going to put just a few in there. So we're just going to get those ground up pretty good. And now I'm going to add my bell pepper. And I didn't add the bell pepper and the carrots at the same time because this is softer and it would just turn to a watery mush on us. See how much softer he is than a carrot. And you can see how our colors are already starting to come together for us. And then I'm going to take our green onions. I love these in it. Whoop. And I think that's just right. You can see our bell pepper is chopped, but it's not mush. And I'm just going to take it and add it onto our dressing, just like that. Doesn't that look good? Now for our cabbage. For my coleslaw, I like a lot of texture. So I'm going to prepare my cabbage two different ways. I'm going to have a variety in there. One half, I'm going to cut into shreds. See how thin I've gotten that? And you'll need a good knife to do this with. And then we're going to take his brother here, and we're going to throw him over here. And I'm just gonna break up that green a little bit. And then I'm gonna just cut him into chunks. Just like that. And I cut out the core of the cabbage. And I love to nibble on this. So that's my snack. And it's a healthy snack too. It's good for you. So keep very good control over your cut. See how pretty that is? Now you may have a couple of pieces like that. That's all right. You can pull them out and get them in the next one. Pretty, pretty. And you can see all the different color greens that the cabbage has. And then we're just going to take our shredded cabbage and toss him into it. And see how pretty that is, all the textures and all the colors. And then we're just going to pour our dressing over it. My grandma Paula always said, now Paula Ann, don't salt your coleslaw because the salt is going to pull the water out of the cabbage. But you see, I went over her and still put a little salt in. And you can just bowl this up and sprinkle it with a little paprika and a few bell pepper rings, and it's so pretty. I've stood it as long as I can, y'all. I think the Brunswick stew's ready. And I love eating my Brunswick stew with rice. So I'm gonna put me just a little rice on there and eat it like I normally would to make sure everything's just right. And I've got to taste the coleslaw too. You know, I love the combination of coleslaw and Brunswick stew and rice. You've got your cool crispiness of your cabbage and the hot spice of your Brunswick stew, and they just go together. Like Jack and Jill. Just as good as I thought it was going to be. Stick around, because next we're going to be chasing this with some Southern lemonade.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
I've prepared some lip-smacking food today. So now for something great to wash it down with. The main ingredient is using fresh lemons. If you don't have fresh lemons, wait until another day to make your lemonade when you do. Now we needed a cup of lemon juice, and I'm gonna add a cup of sugar. This is always risky business to pour hot boiling water into glass, but this is a nice thick one, so I think it's gonna work. But you might want to be careful with that at home. We're gonna just stir that up and let the sugar dissolve. We're going to add our lemon juice and enough water to make our half a gallon. Now remember, for your barbecues, there's a couple of tricks that you can do. If you get rained out outside, the liquid smoke is so great. But if you are able to do it outside, you can get you some hickory chips and soak them in water and throw them on your fire. And that gives it such a nice flavor. And let's see what we've got now as our chaser for that delicious barbecue we've got cooked. I think I'm going to give him just one more big fat wedge and give him a squeeze. And you know, it ain't Southern lemonade without fresh mint. Oh, doesn't that look cool and refreshing? So delicious on a summer day. I don't know if you can see or not, but I'm standing out on my porch and it's drizzling rain, an ugly day, but that didn't matter one drop to me because I produce the easiest inside barbecue that you could ever hope to have. There's no reason why you can't do it yourself at home, America. The Boston butt, the Brunswick stew over rice, the coleslaw, and I even had a chance to make a 6-layer chocolate cake, and I'm gonna wash it down with that fresh lemonade. So don't hesitate to have your own indoor barbecue. And as always, America, I wish you best dishes from my kitchen to yours.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.